which were lit by gas at 6:30 in the evening, and at 6:30 a.m. the glimmer man, he was called, because the lights gave a glimmer of light. He would turn them off. So they had fan lights to enable the light come in the door. So the only people that went in the front door were, of course, the family and their guests. Everything else went in the side entrance, and as you can see, there's little side gates there, usually to the right of the door, but some of them are to the left. So every single thing the family needed went in through that little gate downstairs to the basement, of course, where the cook and all the servants worked out of. So as you went in the front door, your coat and your hat and your riding whip, if you had one, was taken from you, and then you proceeded upstairs to the first floor, which was the dining and reception areas. The second floor was the adults' sleeping quarters, and the third and fourth were the servants and the children. So every time anyone wanted hot water or the fire lit in their houses, everything had to come up from the basement, be carried up. So therefore, up on the third and fourth floor, where the servants and the children was, there wasn't much hot water, and definitely no fires were lit up there. The very, very high incidence of children dying, the ages of between the ages of 4 and 7, from the very, very simple childhood illnesses like ear infections and throat infections. Now also in the Georgian times, of course, there was a very, very high maternal death rate and postnatal babies dying as well. But it was unusual that the older children between 4 and 7, there was a high death rate as well. All of these windows were built to a certain specification, but a lot of them have had wood rot in the intervening years, and you can see they remain sash windows in that the windows open up and down. They don't open in and out. There's a cord down the center of the window frame, and that enables you to pull the windows up and down. Now, as you'll see, this grey one coming up here on the right hand side, the windows are 3, 3, 3 and 3, the panes of glass, and that was the original windows. And as you went up the building, the windows got smaller in the sleeping areas on the second, third and fourth floor. Now we're just coming to St. Stephen's Green here now on my right, behind all these beautiful sycamore trees. Arthur Guinness lived here on the north side of the square, and this area across here, now remember, this was the 17th, 18th century when there was no roads, and horses and carriages were going up and down here, and cattle were being moved, and that area over there was just a swamp. He renovated it and landscaped it and gave it to the people of Dublin, which was a very unusual thing, because normally in the 17th and 18th century around here where the Georgian squares are, and we'll see more of it later, there would have been only private access to the people who lived in the squares. They would have had a key to go into the parks, and if you wanted to go in and you weren't a house owner in the area, it would cost you £25 to go in and have a walk around the park. So if anyone saw Bridgerton, they would have seen the ladies go into the park in the afternoon. Also, this park was very important because in the 1916 Rising on Easter Sunday, that park was held by the only lady insurgent. Now, there was a lot of ladies in the background to the Rising, but Countess Markovich, she was married to a Ukrainian count, and she held the park for 7 days. And it's understood that she shot about 7 or 9 English soldiers. The English would have been further back with the cannons, and they fired the cannons over most of these buildings into the centre of the city, O'Connell Street, which we will see later as well. So St. Stephen's Green is a beautiful recreation area. There's 2 ponds in there. There's a mini amphitheatre. There's a mini amphitheatre, and also there is kiddies playground, and then there's a specially adapted garden in there for those with sensory or sight needs. It's a lovely, lovely oasis in the middle of the city, well used, and it's a walk through as well, so it's more used. This area here is flatland, as you can see, and these are very, very, very old flats. The ones particularly on my left, would have been slums long, the 1930s, and they have been redone. But they're never sold. They're passed down from family to family, intergenerational. It's a poor part of the city. Not saying that they are desperately poor, but it wouldn't be like we have left down in County Wicklow or any